All right, I didn't announce this live, so let me see who's in. Oh, it's just me, probably. I didn't announce this live, so I'm just going to get into it so it'll auto upload, and then I'm going to go back to resting. So, first of all, thank you to everybody who you guys saw the sleep apnea test I did several weeks back. I'm going to tell you the results were not good, really bad, actually. And so, what y'all see is a picture in the beginning. My thumbnail is a picture of the CPAP machine that I now have. Um, and they're gonna be getting me a replacement because that machine is like 9, 10 years old. But my sleep study was really bad. I had, and this is just one of the ratings. There was some other stuff she went over with me, but I had 85 waking events in REM sleep, which isn't good, which means I'm not sleeping. That's your deep sleep. That could play a role on several things. It could play a role dealing with the shakes, the tremors. We don't know if that's what's causing that, so I still have testing to do for that. It could play a role with high blood pressure, weight gain, a lot of things, inflammation, heart issues, stroke. It can do a lot. So definitely work. As I sat down and had a very serious conversation regarding it and some additional things that we had to go over. This last week was a lot of medical stuff and dental stuff. So I knocked out a whole bunch. I have more stuff to do at the end of the month, which I'm going to get done. But I want to thank everybody in the background who has sent me messages through either chat, background emails, and I know I haven't really let a lot of y'all know what's going on. So that's kind of what's going on. Live chats, I was going to do more live chats here in the near future. Um, and I'll be doing them probably closer to the end of the month, beginning of June, and getting back on track with those. But I just had a lot of stuff. And then I just got a recent announcement that my aunt, was it Saturday? She was ambulance, and she's also my godmother. This is my mother's sister. Was ambulance to the hospital for blood clots, and she had them in behind the knee and then one in each lung. She is being released prayerfully today, and some of her church people and some family members are going to, a family member is going to help her get settled back into her house. And then she's got to do some follow up because I think the clots in the legs aren't fully dissolved, but they had her on heparin drip and then they have her on a blood thinner. So that's kind of it's family stuff too going on. I've had some other health stuff. I had some blood work and some of the blood work, the liver and the kidney and the white blood count were off. So that was also part of some of the stuff that I was dealing with as well. So very tired, still very tired. I've been really, really, really resting, and just taking it and really on the CPAP as best I can until they get the CPAP fixed or get me another CPAP. So I have to get a whole new CPAP machine. So y'all see my ghetto machine. That thing is, I think she's 9 or 10 years old. I done had to her humidifier section where the air comes through. I had to super glue it with Gorilla Glue. I then Gorilla taped it. I mean, she's on her last leg, so they're getting me another one. Um, so lots been going on. Again, I will be doing the lives, and then for anybody who follows this later on, thumbs up, like, share it out. I don't have a lot of people because I didn't announce I was doing this. It was just random. I will be doing a Zoom meeting, and I will be announcing that a little later on how I'm doing that. I won't say this because I know other people watch me, but it's going to be mainly for the folks that have been riding with me for a minute. Some of you I've met in person. Some we've talked over the phone. Some of y'all chat with me in the back through either comments or text, or comments or email. So those are the ones I'll explain how to get into the Zoom meeting because it will be a special invite to get in. And I'll be setting that up here in the near future as well to just go over stuff, answer some questions because sometimes I get stuff in the background and people asking me different questions, but I don't want that conversation to be very public. It's going to be a little more privatized, and I kind of know who's been following for a minute. And for my Christian followers, thank you. I know you guys are liking. I'm posting the prayers in the community section. I do not write the prayers. My sister writes the prayers. And I post that, or if I see something inspirational, or sometimes I might feel something inspirational, say something or do a video. And I think I did a video that I just kind of felt inspired of God to do, and I posted it. And it came from more of a Christian, from our Christian Facebook and channel. So that's on there. I'm not going to be on here long. I did it live because it's easier, because the live automatically uploads to the system. I don't have to do it. That's pretty much it. I'm trying to think of it. But yeah, I'll let you guys know the future lives will start again. I'm going to say in June. Because right now, this month is pretty much booked. This month is booked. So my future lives will probably start first or second week of June. And it'll probably be on Saturdays or Sundays. I'll see how we're going to start them. I may end up moving the schedule a little bit, so we'll play with it and see. But we'll go over everything. Right now, my aunt is out the hospital, so keep her in prayer. Well, rephrase. Last I heard, she was supposed to be getting out. I don't know. I'll get confirmation of that later tonight or in the morning. Because, hospital, when they try to release you, that's madness of its own self. But be praying for her. And she is not, so you guys always hear me talk about my blood clot disorder. That comes from my father's side. This is my aunt on my mother's side. And what happened, this is the one who I call, this is a school teacher. She's a retired school teacher, educator out in Tennessee. She was in a car accident prior to COVID, and a really bad accident. She was supposed to have surgery on her knees. She's been having problem walking, but when COVID hit, she wasn't going to go into a hospital because of the risk of contracting COVID at that time. Since then, she has gotten her vaccination, so she's fully vaccinated, but I don't know exactly what the wait was to do the knee surgery, but I know it was going to be coming now that she said she was vaccinated. But she didn't do the knee surgery right away. I think because she has been having problems walking, she's been more sedentary. And if you're extremely sedentary, that is another way to form clots. And she's older. She's like in her 70s. So she got some clots. It broke off into, sounds like it broke off. It usually breaks off from the leg to the lung. And they broke off and went to both lungs. Now, the problem is that now, I think that from what she told me, they believe they dissolved the clots in the lungs. But because of what the issues with the clots in the lungs, there may be issues with the heart. So, and she's 70. So y'all just keep her in prayer. That's pretty much it. Grumpy's okay. He's gotten his first vaccination, the shot. I've had my vaccination shot. We both did Pfizer. My aunt did Pfizer. And everybody's got different views on it. For me, I waited to see how everybody else was doing and then decided what to do as far as the shot was concerned. So I did do the first shot. So I'm personally a proponent for it. I don't have any issues with it. Hey, Tasha, what's up, baby? I don't have any issues with it. And like I said, my cousin went to get his Moderna today. My neighbor, who was a former truck driver, he got both his Modernas. So once everything's stabled out and I get what I call the clear period, I'm going to go, matter of fact, meet up with Trucker Larry, who was my neighbor, and go have some lunch with him. He's retired now. And go sit and have some sushi. We're going to have some sushi in Phoenix, here in Central Phoenix area, and go do that. I'll get more into details on a lot of stuff. Oh, yeah, I've gotten my Pfizer one. I got my Pfizer one already. Yeah, I got it. Monty Grumpy got his. He's okay. I didn't have any side effects from the first shot. No side effects. So I know other people are having side effects. One of my homegirls, we've been really in contact lately, who's with the University of Phoenix. Well, she was with the university. She's working for a whole other company now. But she got, her and her daughters went, all three of them went for their shot Saturday. So, and she said they had the sore arm. They didn't have any of the other side effects. Joe had gotten his early on, my buddy Joe. So, yeah, I just mentioned that. That's what this video was kind of about. Results not good. Very bad, actually. And so, the picture you see is my CPAP machine. If you saw the picture that comes up, that is my girl right now, and she's on her last leg. So, they're getting me a new CPAP machine, and it was not good. My results weren't good, so I had some other stuff. This last week was all medical stuff. just because of those results and the tremors. We want to see what's going on with the tremors. The tremors could be tied to the sleep apnea. So, and then I had some blood work with my liver and kidney, and white blood count was really off. So we had a whole bunch of stuff going on. So Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Thursday, Friday, and then I took Saturday because I knew everything was just crazy, on what I was kind of dealing with medical wise, and I'm happy I did because then we got the whole thing about my aunt. So, oh, it's it's life. I'll be all right. I mean, it's not like I'm gonna die, but I just need to get on top of my game. So they're getting me a new. Well, we don't know when we gonna die. Let's put it like that. Preferably, preferably. But they're getting me a whole new CPAP. And then I have to change some stuff on possibly some of my supplements and meds. So we just made some brief changes on some stuff, um, and see, and then I'll do some more blood work here shortly. So, and then I got some more medical stuff, and then I'm still doing the dental, which the major part of the dental, I only got one more major appointment, which is all the drilling stuff. All the major stuff is almost done, and then it's just going to be finishing off the braces part. So all the major stuff is almost done. Thank you, Jesus. Um, I got one more little section to do. That's it. And hallelujah. I've gotten all pretty much everything done. And but I'm gonna be. I told on here, if you go back, I'll be doing a Zoom with people who've been on here with me for a while. I only want a select group in the Zoom. So I'll let you guys know how to reach out to me so I can send you the invitation, and the password to get in, because I don't want other folks in it. It's going to be only for a certain group of folks that have been on the channel for a while, or some of the more recent, like some of my Christian folks who are following me, and give y'all some background stuff on everything going on. So, yeah, it's been that, girl. It's just been that. It's been that, just the health stuff, and once that gets caught up, I'll be all right. Everything will be, I'm not gonna say normal, but better. So better. But I'm happy I did the sleep study. It shined the light on a whole bunch of other stuff. It shined the light on my breathing issues. It shined the light on a bunch of stuff. So, and it opened the door for them to look at stuff. So, and so one thing is that I definitely need a new machine. The machine I got is like 9 years old or something. Like, it's about 9 years old. Yeah, 2012 I think is when I got it. 2012, 13 is when I got that machine. Maybe even before then. Let me think about that. Mm-mm. I got that machine before then. I got that machine. I got that machine back in 2010, 11. Mm-hmm. That's when I got that machine. So I'm gonna say 2010, 11 is when I got that machine. So I've had that machine even before then. Uh-huh. So that machine is, yeah, it's 10, 11 years old. So she on her last leg. I don't even know if she's blowing the right amount of air right now. I have no idea. There's so much going on. I got Gorilla Tape on it. I did Gorilla Glue. She ghetto fab. I had my doctor week because when we were talking about everything, I was like, and she's like, I said, yeah. And she's like, yeah, we need to get you a new machine. So yeah, I had the sleep study. I had 85, 86, 80 some waking events in REM sleep, which means I'm not sleeping. And and that's why I'm feeling like I'm tired. It also it can affect my oxygen. She said my oxygen really started tanking overnight. So sleep apnea deals with you breathing. So my oxygen started really, really tanking. Anyway, I ain't gonna be on here long because I really didn't announce this. I just did it for that reason. How you doing before I get off of here? I don't know if you're still there, Tasha. Mm. And why are you scared about getting your COVID shot? I'm looking at the chat down here, by the way. I'm hoping you're still on there. Why are you scared to get your COVID shot? Correct. Okay. So here's what I'm gonna tell you. Research. Obviously, I would stay away from the Johnson and Johnson. They released the Johnson and Johnson back out because what they did is look at the numbers, and it makes sense. Um, Johnson and Johnson, it only is affecting a small percentage of people. Um, so, and I'm just gonna go on what I researched in order to make my decisions. So when I first made my decisions that I was going to do the shot, I knew that I was leaning Pfizer straight up. Johnson and Johnson had not been released, and I knew that when I was getting ready to go get it, I mainly was going to look at Pfizer. I wasn't looking at anybody else. My thought process behind the vaccine was this. Moderna was government funded, and I had never heard of the company Moderna. I didn't know who the hell they were. I didn't hear about them till the previous administration started touting off about Moderna, and anything coming from old boy, I was kind of skeptical. My other issue, I'm kind of like cars. I hate to say this. For American cars, if I bought an American car company, it would probably be Ford, because Ford was the only company when we were going through an economic crisis that didn't go to the government with their tin cup in their hand and take money. They say, we got money, we'll take our own money and we'll reinvent ourselves. And they have done a fabulous job at changing their cars. And I know quite a few of my friends who have Fords who have had nothing but good experiences. So Ford changed the game of the American car and of their car. So if I ever decided to go and look at an American car, I'll be honest, Ford is going to be probably on the top of my list. Plus, I want a truck eventually, so that's kind of my aim. I looked at the vaccines the same way. I looked at them that Moderna went with the money and they took government funding. Pfizer, what I liked about them was they're a known company. I'd heard of Pfizer. Pfizer's like Johnson and Johnson. I'd heard of them. I knew who they were. I didn't know who the hell Moderna was until old boy in the previous administration had started talking about Moderna. I knew who the hell they were. But Pfizer, to my understanding, did not take government funding in order to research COVID. And the issue that a lot of people don't know is Pfizer was working on a COVID vaccine prior to the pandemic. Now, maybe not COVID-19, but they had, everybody knew about it. We had experienced SARS and other forms of COVID. So Pfizer was already looking at COVID type vaccinations, which might be why they were the first one out the gate with a vaccine before Moderna. They had already been looking at doing a vaccine. Johnson & Johnson I didn't hear about till later, but Pfizer I knew of. So I already knew based on that. Other thing I had looked at is my entire doctor staff for the doctor's office I go to. All of them they all got COVID. Their COVID vaccine was all Pfizer. Allergies, still dealing with them, y'all. So they all had gotten the Pfizer shot. So I knew that Pfizer was how I was going. And if you notice right now, Moderna is very plentiful, probably because they had the government backing and government may be invested in them. So you can get Moderna more than you can get Pfizer altogether. Now, they may say, oh, well, Pfizer has to be kept colder, yada, 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 yada. But I will tell you, even when I went to go look to do the vaccine, we had to go all the way to North Scottsdale to get it. It was the only place in the valley that was doing it when I went. And then my friend Joe, his sister and his nephew went prior to me. And they had to go to a whole nother city called Prescott. They had to go up into the mountains to go and get the Pfizer vaccine because his nephew is 16 and 16 years old. The only vaccine they were allowing them to get was Pfizer, 16 plus. So I did Pfizer. When I talked to Monty, we both knew. He even know because Monty worked in the hospital for a minute prior to the railroad. He even knew who Pfizer was. So he did Pfizer as well. He waited for me to go. Grumpy. So he waited for me to say, I'm going, and he go, okay, I'll go get mine. Y'all, he a hotness. But anyway, and then my aunt had already gotten hers, and she did Pfizer. And then one of the mothers of my church, she had gotten Pfizer down in Texas. She's now back here, and she got both of her vaccines. So as far as I was concerned, I decided that Pfizer was the best way to go. And I'm happy because I was looking at Johnson & Johnson when it first came out. And I'm so happy I didn't do the one and done because I have a blood clotting disorder. I don't need to add to that with whatever blood clotting issue they had. Arizona's not making what mandatory? You talking about the vaccine? Are you talking about the vaccine is mandatory? Tasha, clarify. Are you talking about the vaccine? Oh, honey, to my knowledge, there's no state requiring the vaccine to be mandatory. This is a federal government mandated program for vaccinations. The states are managing it, but the money behind that vaccine is all our taxpayer dollars. Well, the dollars they make it up, and the dollars we gonna end up paying to pay it off. But that's all our taxpayer money with that vaccine right now. That's all federal government. Nobody, to my knowledge, is mandating it. When you go get the vaccine, you will get a card that shows you are vaccinated. But what I will tell you, um, we'll get into that. See, you got me on a whole nother subject. I'm gonna try to make this quick because I'm gonna be here too long. So it's a federal government thing. If the federal government may try to, I mean, the federal government could probably mandate it. What happens, and I think you got a lot of Christian folks that are like, oh, this is the mark of the beast and everything. Do I believe it's a foreshadowing? Oh, yeah. It's a foreshadowing of things to come, but it's not the mark. I don't believe it's the mark of the beast whatsoever. But what's happening is when you go to get the vaccine, they ask you for your insurance card and your doctor's name. You are going into a federal government system to show that you've been vaccinated. you gnats. I went out in the back to water the little garden, and I got to go out there and plant some new seeds because some of my seeds didn't pop. Some stuff popped. I'll show y'all what popped in later on. But like the corn popped, one of the cucumbers popped, squash popped, longs popped, but my tomatoes have not popped. So I'm gonna plant some more tomato seeds and see if we can get some tomatoes to pop. Back to what I almost lost my train. Okay, back. So here's what I'm going to tell you. When you go to get the vaccine, they give you a card. The card gives you your first date that you got the vaccine, what arm you got the shot in, and what type of vaccine you got. And then they tell you when you're supposed to come back. So you have to wait like 4 or 6 weeks, something like that. I think it's 4 weeks, something like that. Anyway, you wait almost a month, and you have to go back and get the other shot. Once you get the that, but what I found out is when me and my doctor had to meet for all my stuff, the lady's going through my meds, and she said, oh, you had your Pfizer vaccine on blah 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 date. And I'm like, I ain't told you that. I said, how do you know that? She says, oh, it comes through the government system to let us know. So they are tracking who is getting the shots and who's not. Not only are they tracking that through your doctor's office, but probably through your insurance company as well. And it's probably being tracked for a couple of different reasons. One, for your future vaccinations. B, it's also being tracked to see that you have gotten vaccinated. What's the other one that I was thinking that it was being tracked for? And it's probably I know future vaccinations and when you're due. So whatever the schedule is, they do. And we might need a booster shot, a third shot on the Pfizer. Because I think they're doing a booster maybe to fight the variant. Not sure. It is what it is. I still am taking the necessary precautions, even though I've gotten the shot. I'm taking my precautions. I still wear my mask in places if I go indoor places. I'm starting to get out the house and walk. I'm walking outside because I need to walk for health reasons. It's going to open my breathing up some more. But if I, like Joe, he took me to, I had a doctor's procedure thing this past week. And he took me to that, and then he picked me up from all of that stuff. And he took me to lunch afterwards. And if we go in somewhere, I'm wearing a mask until the food comes out. I mainly am still sitting outside. I don't try to stay in restaurants too much. It has to be really hot. In Arizona, we are starting to hit that temperature. And then there can't be a lot of people in the restaurant. Otherwise, I will sit outside and sweat a little bit because we still have the fact you can still get the delusion is that you get the vaccine and you won't get sick. That's the delusion. That's not what the vaccine is doing, from my understanding. You get the vaccine and it's supposed to help you fight those extra COVID related things that can happen. So it's supposed to help your body fight so that you're not on a damn ventilator. You can still get COVID. It's plain and simple. You can still spread COVID. That's why they want everybody to get it, so that everybody's immune system is pumped up to be able to ready to duke it out. So that's part of it. I didn't have side effects. Buddy Joe, his brother had some side effects. I think he had the sore arms, the sweats, the chills. They tell you to do ibuprofen and drink water, or Tylenol and drink a lot of liquid. Um, like I said, my homegirl, who her and her 2 daughters got it. They all had sore arms. That was it. Well, I think she said hers just itched. Her daughters, her two daughter, one daughter said her arm was really sore, and the other daughter didn't really have, I think, an issue. I think that was the whole thing, if I remember correctly. So that was it. My aunt and the lady from my church, my Bert, they didn't have any side effects, and those women, my Bert just turned 91, and my aunt is in her 70s. Monty had his. Grumpy didn't have no issues. Now he's only had his first one. Um, he's due for his second shot, so I'll know more after the second shot he's got scheduled. But he didn't have any issues. So I think it's just it's up in the air. But you can have issues. But I just had to weigh in the balance, and for me, I'm like, now I might have been an asymptomatic carrier because I didn't have anything. My buddy Joe got COVID. I did not. He had the lighter COVID issues. He didn't have like Danielle where she passed of it. But, you know, he didn't end up on a thing. No, I did not have any side effects from it. I didn't really, no. Yeah, I got the shot, and it's the first time was nothing. And, you know, and like I said, I know people who say, I've got whiskers. Yeah, I can feel my little whisker. I got a whisker coming up under here. I'm getting whiskers in my old age, y'all. And so, yeah, that's it. Nothing other than that. That's it. But yeah, I would say pray on it and then research and then make your decision as to which one to get. I will tell you straight up, stay away. I would stay away as a female from Johnson & Johnson. I want nothing to do with Johnson & Johnson. And that's just because it is hitting females more. And I think the ages were like 18 to 40 or something like that were the group that they found that they were having the clotting disorders. And they don't know why. But yeah, so it is what it is. But I personally, Johnson & Johnson, I mean, that's just me. Now, my best friend had Johnson & Johnson, but she had it, she got the shot before she knew about the clotting issue. And me and her are the same age. Matter of fact, her birthday's coming up beginning of June. And so we're the same age. So she had Johnson & Johnson, hasn't had any issues. But she also may be somebody asymptomatic too, because she is in an essential industry, but she had to work in the office she's in, but she runs an entire mailroom. She's like supervisor of a mailroom at the pest control company that she works for in Florida. And she runs that whole thing, and pretty much she's usually by herself. She's in an office by herself, so she interacts every so often, but they were wearing masks in the office, but they did have people who got COVID. She never did. Her husband's a postman, but he's been down because he had a really bad fall or something. So he's almost at retirement anyway, and he had to have a major surgery. So he was delivering during COVID, but just recently stopped delivering in the last few months after his surgery. So anywho, yeah, so I'm going to tell you, pray on it, because I can't tell you what to do. The Lord has to lead you. And you got to also weigh out what are your underlying health issues. I had some big underlying health issues. I had diabetes. I had the blood clotting disorder. We had sleep apnea issues, high blood pressure, and obesity. So I had all those factors. And so then I had to weigh out, if I end up with COVID, it's going to be life or death for me. If it was that way. So I'm weighing in the balance. Do I go ahead and just take the risk of the shot, or do I take the risk of trying to get COVID? I'm going to take the risk of getting the shot. So, because, you can croak from COVID. Danielle rolled out. I'm not trying to be mean, but the girl is gone. So, she didn't get a chance for a vaccine. And I think that you just have to weigh in the balance. Which one do I want to try? Do I want to risk getting COVID, or do I want to just get the shot and possibly be sick? Very few people are dying from the shot. There have been some people who've had some reactions and they ain't here no more. That's few far and in between. Most people just end up getting some flu-like or sick symptoms. I know one of the ladies I work with, I think she said a very good friend of hers ended up in the hospital, like you were saying, with the side effects, and she's out now. So I mean, it's a possibility, but do you want that possibility of COVID? And I think that's just, you have to weigh in the balance which one you're willing to risk. Which one you're willing to risk, and are you going to be staying in your house forever? Because that's pretty much what you're allotting yourself to, is that you're never really going to you're never going to be able to intermingle for quite some time, because even though people are getting shot, they can still give you COVID, because they still can catch COVID. It just gives them the capability to supposedly fight it better. So it raises your immune system into a fight mode. That's all it does. That's another reason I have to go back for my white blood count check, because it was high, as if there was something going on, and that could be based on the fact that I had the shot. I'm getting ready to get off here, sis. So be safe. Yeah, I'll be showing y'all the garden, but I ain't had a lot of stuff pop. I'm pissed off right now because my tomatoes I thought would have popped, but I only had right now. But I might have to plant some more seeds. Right now I got a few things that pop, but I got to get out there and plant some more seeds, which I'm gonna do, and see if I can get some other stuff to pop. Anyway, peace. 2 and 2. Deuces.